Gridding up in the background, we see Freddie Housego and Lewis Hall, your front row for heat number 3. Rio Wardali and Thomas Potter on the second row, with Max Williams and Stanley Clark on row 3. Then we have Isabella Stansmore-Wilson and Jensen White, with Samuel Yeadon and Harry Samuel completing the top 10 in front of James Fabricius and Amy Peacock. Next up, it's Alfie Forrester in 13th, with Max Gray-Trex 14th. Theo Bradshaw and Larry Price on row number 8. Harris Roberts and Jacob Cartledge share row number 9. Then we have Jos Huschke and Ayrton Rye on row number 10. Jack Collinson starts 21st alongside Tom Drake, with Joshua Sullivan and Cameron Tipping sharing row number 12. Harris Ali, Alex Lynn, Max Housego and Ellis Dealey complete your runners in our Honda Cadet class. They get the go-ahead and they make their way out of the dummy grid. So our final few runners, there they go, bouncing their way out. They'll come through, of course, standing start for our Honda Cadet class. They make their way round. They'll obviously be met by their parent helpers on the start line. It's our 28 Honda Cadet runners. So a quick look at the live chat. Rubble's been on, just saying go on Theo, and Irina Farrell's been on saying up the Dealey. I'm guessing that is Ellis Dealey, so he's going to go off in P28. He's been signed on as a novice, so he'll go off the back for all of the heats, and then for the final he'll go off wherever he's collected enough points then for that final. He's moved through the field on a couple of occasions, so expect him to start that final in the early parts of the 20s rather than being down there in 28th, as the field then make their way round. Ben Rowley as well watching, and guessing that is support coming in for Jack Collinson. Hondas then making their way in as the final few rows make their way round onto track. It's not very clean tarmac back there as we just wait for our pole sitter to make his way in. Looks like he could have had a problem on the outlap, but he's just getting his car into position. The 69 of Freddie Housego. Crew member then from the championship just making their way down, making sure everybody is in the correct grid positions, making sure they're in the right direction. They're not out of their track and out of their tram line. When he gets to the back, he'll turn, he'll put the board up in the air and give the go-ahead to the marshal down there at the back of the track. Just watch the gentleman all the way to the right of the screen. The board will go up. That will tell the starter that everybody is in position and we are good to go. There we are. Green flag in hand. The engine notes begin to rise then in Honda Cadet for this standing start. The green is down, we're away and racing as they bounce into position. Lewis Hall from second place sweeps all the way around the outside, and he will lead them into that first complex of corners, into the hook. Everybody hard on the brakes, got to be tentative round there on the opening lap. Don't want to ruin your race early on as everybody makes their way through nice and cleanly. Ellis Dealey there in the 16 already makes up a place. Up into 27th as they head towards the right-hander at Mac Werthers for the first time, bouncing their way through everybody. They're 2 and 3 wide, and this slow cart there in the 13th for Sullivan. Looks like he's got a problem. He's rolling off into retirement, looking down to the left-hand side. Don't know if the engine stopped or anything. He's had a quick look, could potentially be throttle cable, but problems for the 13 as he rolls to a halt on the outside of the circuit up there. Back to the lead, though. We see Thomas Potter going down the inside of Rio Wardali, and then they're going to be 3 and 4 wide on exit as everybody tries to sort themselves out. A frantic opening lap here in the Cadet Kart Championship. Potter is indeed through into second place. Wardali into third, although Potter goes very, very wide round the hook complex of corners and may have lost a place or two. We'll keep an eye on that, but Stanley Clark comes through, as does James Fabricius as well. Leader, though, Lewis Hall, has managed to take full advantage of the opening lap chaos and move away to the tune of about 1.4 seconds. with Potter, Warderley, Clark, White, Fabricius, Williams, Stansmore, Wilson, Peacock and Housego. Your top 10. Larry Price from 16th already up into 11th. He's going to be looking good if he keeps it up for the pole position for the final here, as Warderley goes defensive into the hairpin. Stansmore Wilson's going to try and get the cut back as they make their way through. Stanley Clark up into, well, at the time it looked like he'd moved up into third place, but he's under pressure from Fabricius and he's having to defend in the middle part of the corner. Fabricius then third place, now moves through on Stanley Clark. The gap's still 1.4 from Lewis Hall, who leads from Thomas Potter, then Stanley Clark and James Fabricius. Rio Wardley still holding on into 5th place in front of Isabella Stansmore Wilson, Jensen White, Amy Peacock, Max Williams and Theo Bradshaw. Your top 10 as they make their way out onto the hanger straight. There you see in the background Warderley coming to the inside to try and defend off Isabella Stansmore Wilson. Peacock as well, as Potter and Fabricius go side by side. This time Stansmore Wilson does get across in front of Rio Warderley and she's moved through into 5th place. Fabricius up on Potter, moves into 2nd, so Potter then down to 3rd. Stanley Clark in the 51 in 4th place. Then there's that train of carts that was headed by Rio Warderley in front, but now it's going to be Stansmore Wilson. Can she move away and try and catch up onto the back of Stanley Clark? Oh, we've got a red flag here at Llandow. Not sure what the problem is. We'll try and find out. We'll see the marshal running over there as the ambulance makes its way out onto track. We are not at half race distance. Not quite sure what the restart procedure is going to be for this one. We'll find out in a few moments' time. Drivers then are getting out of the carts, which is probably for the best given how warm it is. They can just have a walk round and a quick stretch of the limbs. So chances are we're going to have to take this one back a lap to where the positions were prior to that, and see where we are with that one, and just see whether we can think. I can't see us having a complete restart, though we do have a cart stationary down right at the far end. I think he's looking for some marshal assistance. He could have potentially had a problem or two down there, but he's just sat stationary down the bottom. So chances are with this one, the time at the top is still elapsing, but nonetheless, normally with a red flag procedure, we do go back a lap and then restart in the same order, although we had only completed 3 laps, so there is still potentially a chance for a complete restart. We'll keep an eye out on what that's going to be and whether we get the update from race control as to what's going to happen on that one.
get what?